All right, let's tune in. We're going to lean in close to the static, to the space between stations, and listen for something else. Today, we're diving headfirst into a topic that's part technology, part mystery, and a whole lot of what if.
I mean, really think about that for a second. What if all that hiss and hum on your recordings wasn't just random noise? What if it was something more? What if, buried deep in that static, there were actual voices trying to break through from somewhere else? So this idea has a name, and it's called electronic voice phenomenon, or EVP for short. And really, it's the claim that you can capture voices on a recording that you didn't hear with your own ears at the time. Voices from who knows where that somehow get imprinted directly onto our technology.
So how did this whole thing even get started? Well, like a lot of strange stories, the modern version really kicks off with one very dedicated, some might say obsessive person.
And that person was a psychologist named Dr. Konstantin Raudive. This guy spent the final years of his life completely consumed by this, trying to systematically capture and catalog these weird audio recordings.
And here he is. Now, you gotta understand, Dr. Raudive wasn't just some guy messing around in his basement. He saw this as serious work. He brought in hundreds of people, and he was adamant that his experiments were done under strict laboratory conditions to make sure he wasn't just picking up stray radio signals or something simple like that.
And if you want to know just how dedicated he was, get a load of this number. Over 100,000. That's how many audio recordings he made, trying to capture these voices. The sheer volume of work is it's mind-boggling, really.
Okay, so we've got the background. We know the key player. Now let's get to the good stuff. We're going to look at a transcript from a real recording session, and believe me, it gets pretty bizarre.
So here's the setup. It's pretty straightforward. A researcher, her name's Sonia, she's in a room, asking questions out loud into the empty air with the recorder running. The real work happens later, when they play back the tape and listen, really listen, for anything that shouldn't be there.
And right off the bat, things get weird. Sonia asks, "Where are you talking from?" The reply, supposedly from the static, is one word, alpha. Okay, strange, but whatever. But then look what happens next. She asks for more detail and the voice snaps back in Portuguese, "Eu falei," which basically means, "I already told you." Where did that come from?
Then the conversation takes this incredibly personal turn. Sonia asks if the voice ever met a particular author, Willy Strieber, and the answer that comes back is just so normal sounding. "I did, when younger." That's not just a random word, it's complete, coherent, personal memory.
And if you thought that was a little out there, well, hold on, because the conversation is about to go completely off the rails.
So Sonia just goes for it. She asks if aliens are involved in this whole thing. The answer? A casual, "Yeah, on the board." Then she asks if they implant things in humans, and the reply is, well, it's chilling. And others. What does an others even mean?
But this next part is what really gets me. Sonia pins the voice down about a specific implant case. But the voice doesn't just say yes. Again, in Portuguese, it says, "Eu ajudei," I only helped. It's such a specific, almost lawyerly answer. It's admitting it was there, but it's not taking full responsibility. So weird.
Okay, let's just hit pause for a second and recap what's being claimed here. This voice in the static is saying that aliens are involved, that it helped with an implant procedure on humans and others, and that it's connected to something called a nodo, a trans-dimensional what now? And oh yeah, it also claims to be Dr. Raudive. This is a lot.
Later on, when Sonia asks why on earth Dr. Raudive would be mixed up with aliens, the voice gives this incredibly strange, almost theatrical reply. "Allo terra." Hello, Earth. I mean, what kind of an answer is that? It's like something out of a bad sci-fi movie.
But the real climax of the whole thing was still coming. After all of these wild claims, Sonia finally asks the million-dollar question. Just, who is this on the line?
She asks, who is speaking? And the reply is a stammered I. Now, the researcher felt the voice sounded just like Dr. Raudive's. So she takes a chance. She says, "Thank you, Dr. Raudive," and the voice calmly replies in Portuguese again, "No aguardo," I am waiting. The man who started it all apparently calling in from the other side using his own methods.
So, what are we supposed to do with all of that? This bizarre conversation, the language hopping, the wild claims, and this voice claiming to be the very researcher who pioneered the field.
It all boils down to one massive, lingering question.
And that's really the heart of it, isn't it? Are we listening to actual proof of communication from another dimension? Or is this just a perfect example of what our brains do best, finding patterns, finding voices, finding meaning in completely random noise? Are these really voices from the void, or are they just the ghosts in our own machine? That, I think, is a question you have to answer for yourself.